You've been selected as a target by an organized crime syndicate, and you don't even know it yet. Those strange coincidences happening around your finances lately? The unexplained phone calls that hang up? The feeling someone is watching you? These aren't random events. They're signs of professional surveillance. Right now, at this very moment, criminal networks are analyzing your digital footprints, studying your spending patterns, and mapping your daily routines. They've identified you as a profitable target based on specific markers in your financial behavior. The security measures you think are protecting you, your passwords, your bank alerts, your locked doors, are completely useless against their sophisticated methods. You have approximately 48 hours before they move from the surveillance phase to the extraction phase of their operation. Most people discover they've been targeted only after their assets have been drained and their identity stolen. But you have a critical advantage right now: this warning. The information you're about to receive could save you from financial devastation that takes years to recover from. The techniques they're using against you are the same ones that have destroyed thousands of families. Time is running out to protect yourself before they complete their plan. Modern organized crime doesn't operate like what you see in movies. They don't break down doors or threaten you directly. Instead, they use sophisticated financial manipulation. That's completely legal until the moment they drain your accounts. These professional criminals have access to the same data analysis tools used by major corporations. They scan public records, social media activity, and financial databases to identify targets with significant assets but weak security. Once they select you, they begin gathering intelligence on your spending patterns, your banking habits, and your personal vulnerabilities. They know which bank you use, when you typically make large purchases, and even what security questions you're likely to use for your accounts. The syndicate has already completed Phase 1 of their operation: target identification and initial surveillance. You're currently in Phase 2, detailed intelligence gathering and vulnerability mapping. Phase 3 involves creating access points to your financial accounts through identity manipulation. Phase 4 is the actual extraction, when they drain your assets using methods that appear legitimate to banking systems. Most victims don't realize what's happening until Phase 4 is complete. The average loss per victim is $47,000, and law enforcement recovers less than 12% of stolen assets. These aren't random criminals. They're organized professionals with international connections and sophisticated technology. They've been studying you for weeks, possibly months, without your knowledge. You need to recognize the warning signs that prove you're already under surveillance. Check your credit reports immediately. Unusual inquiries from companies you've never heard of indicate they're testing access to your financial information. Have you been receiving phone calls that hang up when you answer? This is a technique called presence verification. They're confirming your home and learning your schedule. Look around your neighborhood for cars parked in unusual spots for extended periods, especially vehicles with tinted windows or multiple occupants. Professional surveillance teams often pose as delivery drivers, maintenance workers, or even helpful neighbors asking questions about your routine. Those small, unexplained charges on your credit card that you dismissed as errors? These are test transactions to verify they have working access to your accounts. Technology glitches with your devices, cameras freezing, phones acting strange. Computers running slowly often indicate remote monitoring software has been installed. Pay attention to new people who've appeared in your life recently, especially those who seem overly interested in your financial situation or ask casual questions about your banking preferences. Have financial institutions contacted you about security updates, or account verification that seemed slightly off. This is often the syndicate testing your responses to official-sounding requests. Social media interactions from strangers who seem to know details about your life are red flags. Even your trash is valuable to them. They analyze bank statements, bills, and personal documents you throw away to build a complete financial profile. These signs individually seem harmless, but together they paint a clear picture of coordinated targeting. You must implement these critical security measures within the next 24 hours to prevent them from completing their operation. First, contact all your financial institutions immediately and request enhanced security protocols. Tell them you suspect identity theft. This triggers special monitoring procedures that flag unusual activity. Change every single password and security question for all your accounts, but don't do this from your home computer or phone, which may be compromised. Use a public computer at a library or internet cafe. Create completely new passwords using random combinations that have no connection to your personal information. Never use the same password twice, even with slight variations. Enable two-factor authentication on every account that offers it, but use a separate phone number or authenticator app rather than your primary phone. Close any accounts you don't actively use. Dormant accounts are easier for criminals to access without detection. Set up text alerts for all transactions, no matter how small. Contact the 3 major credit bureaus and place fraud alerts on your credit reports immediately. This forces creditors to verify your identity before opening new accounts. Consider freezing your credit entirely. This prevents new accounts from being opened in your name. Move large sums of money to accounts at different financial institutions to diversify your risk. Avoid using ATMs for the next 2 weeks, especially ones in isolated locations where surveillance equipment might have been installed. Never access financial accounts from public Wi-Fi networks. If you must conduct banking online, use a VPN service to encrypt your connection. Document everything. Take photos of suspicious vehicles, save unusual emails, and keep records of all the security measures you implement. This documentation becomes crucial evidence if law enforcement gets involved. Most importantly, don't tell anyone about these measures except immediate family members who need to know. Your digital security needs immediate upgrading because standard protections are useless against professional criminals. Download these specific apps today: a reputable VPN service, an encrypted messaging app like Signal, and a password manager with military-grade encryption. Standard passwords are worthless. They have software that cracks common passwords in seconds. Your mother's maiden name and your first pet aren't secrets to them anymore. They've already gathered this information from data breaches and social media analysis. Create a completely new email address using a secure provider like Proton Mail for all financial communications. Never use this email for anything else. Install antivirus software that includes anti-spyware protection and run a full system scan immediately. Many people discover monitoring software has been secretly installed on their devices for months. Change your home Wi-Fi password and network name immediately. Use WPA3 encryption if your router supports it. Disable features like remote access and guest networks that create security vulnerabilities. Be aware that smart home devices, cameras, doorbells, thermostats can be hacked and used for surveillance. Temporarily disconnect these devices until you can secure them properly. Create decoy accounts with small amounts of money to confuse their monitoring systems. Use different banks and credit unions for different purposes. The goal is to make your financial footprint so complex they can't map all your assets. Check your devices for unusual behavior, faster battery drain, unexpected data usage, or apps you didn't install. Factory reset your phone if you suspect it's been compromised, but back up important data first. Never access sensitive accounts from compromised devices. The most critical step is changing all financial passwords within 6 hours of implementing these measures, before they realize you're aware of their surveillance. Your assets need immediate protection before they can complete their mapping of your financial picture. Contact a reputable financial advisor today about temporarily restructuring your accounts to create multiple layers of protection. This isn't about hiding money illegally. It's about using legitimate financial tools to make your assets harder to access quickly. Open accounts at credit unions, which often have better fraud protection than large banks. Diversify your holdings across multiple institutions so that compromising one account doesn't give them access to everything. Consider moving significant assets into accounts that require multiple signatures or additional verification steps for large withdrawals. Time deposits and certificates of deposit create natural barriers that slow down unauthorized access. Set up automatic transfers that move money between accounts on irregular schedules. This makes it harder for them to predict when your accounts will have large balances. Work with your financial institutions to create unique security phrases and verification procedures that go beyond standard questions. Many banks offer enhanced security services for high-risk customers at no additional cost. Consider temporary investment in precious metals or other physical assets that can't be accessed electronically. This isn't about becoming a gold hoarding extremist. It's about creating a buffer that protects part of your wealth from digital theft. Keep emergency cash in a secure location at home, but not in obvious places like bedroom drawers or home safes, which are the first places criminals look. Spread smaller amounts in multiple hiding spots. Review all automatic payments and subscriptions. Cancel anything unnecessary, and change payment methods for essential services. Create a trusted contact list with your financial institutions, people who can be contacted if unusual activity is detected on your accounts. Most importantly, never discuss these protective measures over the phone or in text messages, which can be intercepted. Meet with financial professionals in person whenever possible. Once you've implemented immediate protections, you need a long-term strategy to stay off criminal radar permanently. Professional criminals maintain databases of targets and may return months or years later if their initial attempt fails. Change your financial patterns completely. Use different ATMs, shop at different stores, and vary your routine so surveillance becomes difficult. Build relationships with security professionals at your financial institutions. Let them know you're security conscious and want to be contacted immediately about any unusual activity. Consider hiring a private security consultant for an annual review of your protective measures. The cost is minimal compared to potential losses. Monitor your credit reports monthly instead of annually. Many services offer free monthly monitoring that alerts you to new inquiries or accounts. Stay informed about evolving criminal tactics by following financial security news and law enforcement bulletins. Criminals constantly develop new methods, and your protections need to evolve accordingly. Create a support network of trusted contacts who understand security protocols. These people can help verify suspicious communications and provide backup support if needed. Most importantly, help others by sharing this information. Criminal syndicates target people in clusters. If they're watching you, They're likely watching your neighbors, colleagues, and social connections. The more people who implement these protections, the harder it becomes for criminals to operate successfully. Regular security reviews should become as routine as annual physical checkups. Your financial health depends on maintaining these protective measures consistently, not just implementing them once and forgetting about them. You have exactly 48 hours to implement these critical protections before the syndicate moves to the next phase of their operation. Waiting even one more day dramatically increases your risk of financial devastation. Start with the most urgent measures first. Contact your financial institutions, change all passwords, and set fraud alerts on your credit reports. These 3 steps alone will disrupt their current operation and force them to start over with a new target. The specific order matters. Secure your accounts first, then implement digital protections, and finally restructure your asset protection strategy. Don't try to do everything at once, but don't delay starting either. Access additional resources through reputable financial security services, and consider consulting with professionals who specialize in protecting against organized financial crimes. Share this critical information with friends and family members who might also be targeted. These criminal networks often work through social connections, targeting multiple people in the same circles. Your quick action right now could prevent not just your own financial destruction, but also protect others in your community from becoming victims of these sophisticated criminals.